Ah yes, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, a fantastic game that aged like fine wine, and to think it's been almost 6 years ago that this game was actually released, giving us an excellent story, beautiful characters, and even some very memorable moments.
You were staring. Huh? Pervert!
Ah, the gift that keeps on giving. Pyra and Mithra are also two very excellent characters that came from this game, and speaking of Pyra and Mithra, speaking of Pyra, this brings us to the artist Momoka. On August 23rd, she posted, "I have to be honest, I want her so bad, someone talk me out of it." I gotta say, she's got some beautiful taste. I mean, if you look at this unlicensed Pyra figurine, it's absolutely gorgeous. Whenever it comes to the merchandise with Pyra and Mithra, you know you're eating well because, man, this looks absolutely amazing. I don't care, I'm snagging this up. I'm gonna buy one myself. You can't stop me. But hey, you know how it goes. If you enjoy something like this that is anime or attractive female characters, well, you better believe that the Twitter freaks are gonna be on high alert to things like this, and they're gonna react in the most mentally deranged way possible.
Oh, check it out!
On August 24th, a pro Smash Bros. Player came in stating this: "It is genuinely crazy how much this game and its fanbase damaged the Xenoblade series' reputation. Holy shit! Like, what even is this?"
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
As you can tell, this guy is clearly not the sharpest tool in the shed, because it doesn't take a genius to figure out that this is a plastic figurine, absolutely harmless. Now, if you don't like it, that's perfectly fine. But instead, what he decides to do is he decides to make a freak-out post as if he just escaped his holding cell in an insane asylum, crying over a harmless figurine of an attractive female character. Now, the other thing is, he states that its fan base damaged the Xenoblade series. No, that's not true. It's people like him that try to damage it that the Xenoblade fan base do not want to associate themselves with. I still don't understand. If Street Fighter or Final Fantasy did something like this, and they have, it gets celebrated. But yet, when this series pitches in on it, it's a problem? Explain. What am I missing on this with Xenoblade that those other two franchises and more have? Simply put, I'm not in either the Street Fighter or Final Fantasy community, so truth be told, I kinda just haven't seen this happen due to who I follow and by extension, what pops up onto my timeline. The fact that the merches like this is apparently a widespread thing is really upsetting. What a sad and pathetic life you must be living if you find this figurine upsetting in any way or form. Like, this is one of the saddest things. People just look at this and they go, "Sexy woman bad!" And then they just cry over attractive female anime characters. Peak first world problems. And I guess he also doesn't realize that, oh, there's plenty of statues and figurines and things that sort of Chun-Li from Street Fighter and Tifa and other characters from both of these franchises. And some very spicy figurines at that.
Oh my, how lewd!
There were even people coming in completely blasting him on his take, stating, "Grown man upset about Bishoujo figures, sorry that happened to you." Or, "How many body pillows with elementary school students on them do you own?" The irony in all of this is a Smash Bros. Pro player that's crying over fictional characters, but then you look at the issues that's going on with the Smash Bros. Community, and you see all the allegations of misconduct, specifically grooming, that they've been facing for years. You would imagine that that would be their focus, something that they would try to be working on ridding of their community. But instead, they'd rather be bitches with keyboards crying over fictional content on the internet. The world is burning. Momoka responded stating, "Smash player sees a woman and loses their fucking minds episode Infinity. A fully clothed woman bent over is too much to handle, I fear." And then he responds with, "Clearly, I must be a misogynistic Smash player because I dislike the Coomer bait for being Coomer bait."
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Maybe ask yourself why a fully clothed woman is Coomer bait to you. Spoiler alert, yes, the answer is internalized misogyny. Do you mind letting women exist instead of critiquing their bodies and clothes? Thanks. I mean, Mobica does bring up an interesting point. What is the issue with an attractive female character and wearing clothing, might I add? What's the issue with this? I mean, she does have a good point. And typically people like him, when they look at something like this Pyra figurine, for example, and they immediately come to, oh, Coomer, babe, porn. When they come down to this, usually they are the Coomers themselves. Because they're the ones who sexualize every single last thing under the sun, even if it's not something sexual. Like, they're the ones that have that mindset. Projection is very strong with these people. That's what they do. They do this all the time. Besides, this figurine is the standard figurine. If you've looked this up, you'll know that there's also a nude version. But this is the clothed version. This is the standard version of it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the standard or the nude version existing. If you don't like them, that's perfectly fine. You know, nothing wrong with that, right? Not an issue. You don't have to interact, you don't have to buy it, any of that. But then you've got unhinged people that are just so insane that they freak out over something that's absolutely a non-issue at all. It's not even a problem. But then, of course, there were more insane people. Now, this person was responding to another person stating, Tom, do you actually believe what she said is true? Genuinely want to know if you were just memeing or actually think tight labia showing clothes for a figure isn't somehow for sex appeal. The way you talk about a woman's body is so disgusting and weird, and I hate that I have to exist in a world where a weirdo like you who projects their own repressed, uncomfortable feelings towards sexuality on other people. Okay, so you are being an idiot on purpose. Hopefully you drive, and hopefully there will be someone who drinks when you do.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
This right here is a death threat. Like, straight up a death threat. Because what they're saying is they hope that someone that is a drunk driver drives at the same time as them and hits them. This is a death threat. Like, this is over somebody just wanting a figurine of Pyra. If you thought that these people couldn't get any more unhinged, oh, they got even stupider.
But let me tell you something, folks. You can't fix stupid.
When I see people as stupid as this, I really am starting to believe that they have escaped from psych wards, considering how idiotic they are and unhinged they are over just things that aren't an issue. This game has been out for almost 6 years, and people are still crying and screaming over Pyra and Mithra because they are the very things that they hate. Attractive female characters. The very things that they hate. And it's like I've been saying, we live in the clown world timeline. There were other people who were even coming in talking about this whole thing. One person stating, the Pyra figure debacle be like, fictional character white knights. That's so bad and makes any actual women very uncomfortable. Actual women, we actually like them. We are not bothered by that. Fictional character white knights. No, you women do not understand. Hey, look, this person has a very good point. And you know what? I'm going to drop some massive shocking news. I mean, you guys are not going to believe this, but while men do like attractive female characters, women also like attractive female characters. Who would have thought? But yes, women also do like attractive female characters. Then a female artist named Gigi came in stating, why do people scream and cry over anime girls showing skin and then play Baldur's Gate 3 with a smile on their face? This tweet leaving my circle. I'm just asking why there's mad people. I haven't seen a Japanese AAA anime game with sex scenes. And the most skin a AAA company would do is cleavage or, I don't know, their thighs. And then people get mad over that. And then they're totally okay with Western developers having full-on sex scenes and are like, they're not objectifying women at least. They're literally having intercourse? What am I missing here? As a content creator who also follows other fellow content creators for franchises we like, we happen to see more of this kind of interaction on our feeds when we're actively showing how much we enjoy the content we like. Lucky that some of you don't encounter that. Which is another good point, because what's funny is that you'll see people look at Baldur's Gate 3 and go, oh, a bear sex scene, oh, it's so stunning and brave, and praise it. But yet, a Pyra figurine doesn't show any skin, hardly, and they freak out over thighs and breasts. You can see there's clear and blatant hypocrisy there. And while Gigi brought up more good points, more unhinged people came in. One person stating, I have a feeling the character in your profile pic is a sexualized child, which makes sense since you draw sexualized children, weirdo.
Okay, they're talking about fictional characters. Fictional characters.
You can clearly tell that this person's an idiot because they're fictional characters. They're lines on paper. Age is a cosmetic to a fictional character. They're not real. They're not children because they're fictional. They're not real. You have to be a special type of stupid if you think that fictional characters are children or that they are real. They're lines on paper. You should treat fictional characters like real people because at the end of the day, how do you think the people who happen to act, look, or see themselves in the character are going to feel when they see people treating that character like an object just because of the way?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
This is downright one of the stupidest things I've ever read. I mean, when you're to a point where you can't separate fiction and reality, first off, that's already the first problem. But secondly, to a point where you believe that how you treat a fictional character affects a real life person, that right there is, that's a real mental illness. Like that's absolutely ridiculous. Completely absurd. But there is some good news to this. Momoka did in the end state, I am defeated, I just pre-ordered her. So, good news at the end of the day, she did get the figurine.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes.
But seeing as all this just happened just because she wanted a figurine, I mean, this is ridiculous. But like I said, the good news is she stood up, she didn't, back down, she bought what she wanted. I mean, it's good that they didn't stop her from getting what she wanted. And she fought back, even. I mean, this is good. At least she took that stand, at least she didn't back down, at least she got what she wanted. That's a plus. At the end of the day, that's what we need more of. We need to see more good things. Despite Twitter freaks being absolutely just mental to the point where they want to drag anyone down and obviously show their stupidity and hypocrisy. But, at least there are people that are going to stand up, that are not going to take their shit, and do as they please and not listen to the Twitter freaks. That's a good thing. At least there was something good that came out of this. God bless Momoka and what she did here. This was good. God bless her for standing up and telling them all to screw off. Because if there's one message anybody should have for Twitter freaks, it's this. You should tell them to just go fuck off. It feels good to be back.